Hey guys, it's Tomi,
And I'm Nicole.
and welcome to the very first episode of Content Culture.
A weekly podcast featuring reality TV recaps and breaking down the latest digital trends influencing our world today.
So, we have both been content creators for over half a decade now, and I feel like that leads to being extremely online. And we just kind of see a lot more on social media than the average user.
Absolutely. We've bonded over talking about The Bachelor and our love of reality TV. As a listener, you can expect to hang out with us each week for a full recap of everything going on. In today's episode, we are kind of just starting off an introduction, so we thought it would make the most sense for us to introduce ourselves to you. So, Tomi,
You want me to go first?
tell us about you, girl.
All right. So, my name is Tomi. I have been a content creator for close to 6 years now, and I just went full time in 2020. But I have loved everything pop culture as, a child. And now it's funny, I'm married to my husband, Will, and I constantly talk to him about everything that's happening with celebrity gossip. And he does not care. I mean, he's very sweet and he'll sit and listen with me, but
Okay.
for the most part, it's reserved for the group chats, because you just need someone to like geek out with you over it. Because I mean, honestly, it's one of those of people saying, "Why do you care?" But it's like the FOMO, and I think that's really kind of what pushed me to love pop culture, was because I felt like if I wasn't on the up and up of what was happening on Twitter, or the most recent celebrity relationship, I couldn't talk with my friends and know what was going on. And that's kind of actually one of the reasons why I got into The Bachelor in the first place too, because it happened in college. All my roommates were watching it, and I had never watched before, and now I'm addicted. So unfortunately, but that's kind of where I feel like my love for pop culture began as a kid. Was just trying to make sure that I would fit in and always understand what was going on. But yeah, I live in Charlotte now with my husband, doing the content creating thing full time, and now this wonderful podcast with Nicole.
Hello, friends. I am Nicole Green. I don't know that Tomi gave you her Instagram handle. It's at Good to Meet Ya.
She's sweet.
I am at What Nicole Wore, just to plug ourselves real quick after the podcast. But I full-time work a salaried position as an SEO consultant. I also am a part-time content creator. That's like my part-time job, side hustle, passion project thing out there. I live outside of Washington, D.C., and I don't know, I really kind of fell in love with pop culture just because you like want to be the cool kid, right? So you always want to be the friend that, like you said, like knows what's going on. You never want to be out of the loop. But even if I'm out of the loop, I'll pretend like I'm not. I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally know about that.
Totally.
So I just always love that there's always something happening with pop culture.
Yeah.
And what for you was like I call it your gateway drug for reality TV. Like, you find something and you're like, oh, I kind of like this. And then next thing you know, you're watching all reality TV almost.
So it's funny because I had this epiphany with my followers last year that I was like, oh crap, guys, I think I love reality TV. I think I always just assumed that I was too highbrow to enjoy it. And so I would continue to lie to myself. The first shows that I really were into were America's Next Top Model, ANTM, Tyra Banks. I felt like she molded me to be the confident bad bitch that I am.
Okay.
And I would watch like that and American Idol, and I loved it. But then when it came to your stuff of like your love reality shows or like Bad Girls Club or something like that, I was just like, these people yell all the time. Are they not tired? And so I just kind of stayed away from that until college, like I said before, where my roommates were watching The Bachelor, and I was like, oh crap, I guess I need to watch this so I can like hang out and understand what's going on. And then I've just been like sucked into it. So I was like, okay, well, I watched The Bachelor and a couple, competition reality shows, but that's it. And I'm like, okay, well, I watched The Bachelor and a couple of Real Housewives stuff, but then that's it. And then I was just like, why am I fighting it? This is good quality TV. Like, it's entertaining. It's nice to just kind of like throw on for background noise. So that is one of the stigmas I'm definitely here to fight for, is like, you can love your reality TV and it doesn't have to be this like, my
guilty pleasure.
Yeah, your guilty
pleasure.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Yeah. It's fine. Other people can enjoy their, intense
suspense,
Game
murder
of Thrones,
mysteries.
whatever. Which I
Right.
do love Game of Thrones still. Don't get me wrong, but you can also enjoy this. It's just another form of entertainment.
Exactly.
What about you?
So for me, you actually like sparked a memory in me when you were talking. I was like, oh my god, you know what I really love? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Haven't watched the last season, but like fell off lately. But I feel like so many people have this perception of like it's trashy TV and the Kardashians are so trashy, and it's like kind of like cool to hate the Kardashians. And I'm like, there's no shame in watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like you can watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians and love it, and that's totally fine. And for me, it was a thing where like a couple of my best friends watch it, and so it's like something that we can talk about and like stay in contact with like our long distance friendships. Yeah. And so I'm like, it's for me, I'm like, it's fun to have something like that with your friends that you can talk about and connect over. And so I think some of us like feel distance from friends, especially this past year, where you're like, oh, there's nothing to talk about, like
what's new with you?
Yeah, tell me, what have you been doing? And you're like, I've been at my apartment since March. Right. Nothing has changed since the last time you checked in on me. This is boring. So like, instead of saying that, I can say like, hey, did you watch the latest episode of Bachelor in Paradise? Right. This was so wild, blah, blah, blah. So I think finding those things that your friends love too makes it fun. Even if it's not your very favorite show, or it's not like the most like brain powered, smart. You don't have to figure it out. Yeah. Like, it's still really good to have those things.
And I really liked the point too that you said about Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because I loved watching it just from like an entertainment standpoint, but also as a content creator, it was really interesting to watch like how they used it as like a marketing tool, how they used it like with their own influencing thing, and then like how it has continued to shape a lot of stuff that we see in culture and society and beauty standards stuff today.
Completely transformed, right? Yeah. Like I was reading an article over a couple days ago about Kylie Jenner, and they were saying how fascinating it is that she turned all of these people interested in whether or not she got lip fillers into Kylie Cosmetics because so many people were talking about her lipstick. She's like, oh, I'm going to make lipstick. And then like legit became a billionaire off of that.
I mean, allegedly.
But close to it, right? We know probably close to it. Like she built a multi-million-dollar company. I mean, she didn't build it, but you know what I mean? It became a multi-million-dollar company because of the buzz from their family.
And it all comes back to
Kris Jenner.
She's there. She's the content queen. You know what? If you want to know what to do, that's who to follow.
It's so funny watching the like super early seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because the daughters are like, I don't want her to manage me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, clearly it works out.
Right. She knew what she was doing. She said, just trust.
They were like, she doesn't work hard enough to get us deals, blah, blah. Like Chloe would say that in the beginning. Yeah. And I'm like, you know who made this work for you? Your mom.
Yeah, mama.
But outside of that, my earliest like reality TV shows, American Idol, season 2. My mom didn't let me watch season 1.
Why?
She was like, I don't know about this.
That's fair.
She's like, it's live. Like, I don't know what it is.
Was it because it said the word idol? Because that was me with my Deep South Christian. Like, please, false idols?
No.
I don't think so.
But I never thought about that. But yeah, that's interesting. So no, she was like, I just don't know. And like everyone in 5th grade was watching it. And I was like, please. She's like, no. So I missed Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
A Real Crime. But then I was back for season 2. Watched that for a while. Then it's funny you said you like didn't like the dating reality shows. That was like my bread and butter. So I was like Rock of Love, Flavor of Love. I Love New York.
Please tell the audience how old you were when you were watching these shows.
We were talking about this earlier, and then I was like, and then Tomi asked, she was like, but you couldn't have been that old. So I feel like I was probably 12 to 14 and watching these, which watching them now, I'm like, was probably not appropriate. My mom would probably not approve of that at that point, but she didn't know. So here we are. Surprise. But yeah, and then I fell into kind of MTV, like Double Shot of Love with Tila Tequila. Didn't age well. She didn't age well, but that's okay.
Which, can I just say, pause for a moment? I do hope that premise comes back, just with someone who's not a trash human being.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's a great, and I think right now they're using the Double Shot at Love title for like Vinny and DJ Pauly or whatever. And I'm like, no, trash that and give us a bisexual bachelor dating show. Dating show. But yeah, I got into like Real World, Road Rules Challenge, all of those things. And so now The Bachelor was really the one I held out on the longest, because I feel like it was so popular. I was a hater. It was so popular
Same.
to watch that. And I was like, I'm not going to watch this show. And the show was so remarkably white for a long time that I was like, I was like, this just isn't for me. And then one of my best girlfriends, of course, I feel like it was a huge pop culture moment when Ari, on his season, picked Becca as his final one and then dumped her for his final 2.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, the drama. It was that whole FOMO thing. Like, I was like, I can't believe I missed this cinematic masterpiece.
Woo.
So I started watching The Bachelorette, Becca's season, and I have been hooked ever since.
Yeah. I think it was those moments that really just made me the fan that I am today.
What was your first season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette?
The first season that I watched was... It was not Deanna Pappas. It was Des. I was trying to think of it. Desiree.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that one.
It's a very cute season. I was in love with Brooke, so I don't know if that was like her final 2 or her final 3 person. I was like, that's the person she was supposed to be with. She's now been like married to her husband for like 10 years, has kids. Like, she knew what she was doing, which a lot of the Bachelorettes do because they make those good
great
choices.
Track record,
like even
especially
if they don't get
compared
married.
to Bachelors.
Right. It just shows women.
Period.
That's it. That's a sentence. But yeah, that was my first season, and then like took a couple off, and wasn't even like really serious whatever about it. I feel like these past couple of years is when I've like
really
been in it. I've been live tweeting. I've been in the DMs talking to people and all the things. So I'm very excited to kind of going forward with everything that happened with Chris Harrison, Matt James's season, being able to give our own perspectives as Black women, and seeing kind of how this franchise hopefully evolves when it comes to diversity and inclusion, and true inclusion, and not just like putting the faces out there and saying, oh, we casted them, making sure it's doing the work behind the scenes and creating these storylines that are, really give respect to the people who are in these positions to find love, quote unquote. I just feel like it would help you make a better TV show, so why not just put forth the effort?
Yeah, dynamic individuals, well-rounded dynamic individuals are going to make for a great cast.
Yes. But let's not just talk about The Bachelor.
True.
What are some other pop culture moments you feel like help shape you, or like that are very vivid memories that you have?
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is Aaron Carter cheating on Hillary Duff with Lindsay Lohan. That was an early moment. And then Lindsay Lohan's whole like career prior to like this life she's living now as a nightclub owner.
Is that what she's doing now? The last time I remember seeing her in the news was her trying to like kidnap children.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I was like, she had that reality TV show that was like at her club. I didn't watch that one, but she was like, I feel like now we're having like a reckoning around Britney Spears, right?
Right.
An icon. Mm-hmm. But like, I kind of feel like Lindsay Lohan was in an era where the way she was written and talked about was maybe would not hold up today.
Yeah, fair. I think a lot of the criticisms that she had were when she was a child.
Yes.
And of course that's going to shape how you like go out into the world and being like intense and whatever. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things. Hopefully she'll get her own documentary to show like she's been through some ish, and that's why she is.
Yeah, I feel like a documentary down the road would be fascinating.
Yeah.
What about you? What has been a moment where like it doesn't have to be recent, but like just like to the core, you're like, I still think about this.
I don't know. I remember thinking about this is funny. So when Brad and Angelina got together, I was shocked.
Were you team Brad or were you team Jen? Or you weren't on a team?
I wasn't necessarily on a team. Like I felt very bad for Jen, but I also thought, I was like, oh crap, these people are like very good looking, a great couple. And then I just started popping kids out the wazoo, and I remember being super proud that I could name all of the kids' names.
Can I put you on the spot?
Oh god. Okay, I can do it. So there's I can do this.
Okay.
Pax, Maddox, Knox, Vivian Macheline, Shiloh, Zahara.
Wow.
Bam, bam, bam.
Wow.
Period.
A round of applause for that one. wild.
Oh my gosh. But yes, I remember thinking like, wow, I'm jealous of their kids because like they have these two rich parents and they're gorgeous and whatever. And just like watching that with fascination. Mr. and Mrs. Smith was also like one of my favorite movies at the time. Also, too young to, not necessarily too young to watch because it wasn't too intense, but
It's a little intense though.
It's a little intense. It's a little intense. That scene where she has the knife on her thigh and they're dancing, I was like, oh, one day I'm gonna do that.
Somebody call Will.
Ready to stab. No. But yeah, that entire thing was like a moment in time for me as a child. But I think going forward, it's just like, I wanted to talk about that with everyone and no one else really cared. So that's why I'm very excited to be doing something like this with you.
Okay. And then the other thing I feel like we have to talk about is like kind of what got us into pop culture. And you talked about this a little bit earlier, but like for me, I remember being in middle school and that was when Mean Girls came out.
Yes.
And I'm curious if you had the same experience. Everyone saw it. But my mom was like, you're not 13. You can't go see a PG-13 movie. And so I had serious FOMO because, like, you know, we'd go to PE and everyone in the locker room afterwards would be like, oh my gosh, this is just like the scene from Mean Girls. And I'd be like,
yeah.
So I finally found some website that was like a parental guidance on rated movies and would break down the entire plot of the movie. All of the problematic or like kind of adult-esque risky moments. And so I would read all of that so that I could go to school and be like, yeah, it's totally like that moment of Mean Girls. Sniff it.
And then no one knew.
And then I didn't feel left out or like a loser that couldn't do those things. Did you ever have where your parents were like, don't worship celebrities,
Yeah.
like it's not appropriate, they're not good role models?
I was not allowed to have posters up in my room or anything.
Okay.
I had like ripped them out of Tiger Beat in 17 of like Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber and the Jonas Brothers. It was definitely the Jonas Brothers. I was obsessed with Nick Jonas.
Okay.
When A Little Bit Longer came out and he's talking about his diabetes, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna die! Like, we have to save him!
Save Nick Jonas!
He is like a treasure to this world. And so I would have all the little like posters and stuff of them, and then my parents would be like, please do not. Sorry parents, it didn't work. I'm still obsessed with all of them, except for Justin Bieber. He needs to work on his hair. But other than that, yeah, those moments for sure. I was not allowed to watch like Harry Potter as a kid, but I feel like because I went to a Christian school, I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal until. So I ended up watching them. I think it was my senior year when the last one came out, and so my friend was like a really big Harry Potter fan. So I was reading the books to catch up, and then I tried to catch up with all the movies, and then just ended up just like skipping and watching the final movie and like snuck out to go to watch it. Risky. Sorry, Mom, again. So that was a moment that I was like, oh, this is like a really big deal. Like seeing all the other people who were like staying up and in their little cloaks and whatnot. I was like, oh, I missed out on this. And sometimes I feel like I did because of the nostalgia a lot of people have about that series. Like I just don't have it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm still here. I'm a well-adjusted adult, but I think there are those moments in time that it really helps like bring you together with a group of people, and it's fun to kind of feel that camaraderie with others over something that is just something lighthearted that you can enjoy.
You're saying you feel like you missed out. I feel that way about Friends in the Office because I just cannot get into them. Haven't watched a full episode. Have tried just watch an episode, but have not watched a full episode of either. And I feel like people there are like cult like followings around those two.
Yeah, I feel like we probably turned off a lot of people who came for a pop culture podcast, and you're saying Friends in the Office.
Friends, not for me.
Friends, I understand because like watching it back now, in comparison to the shows I find hilarious now, it doesn't even like touch the surface.
Right. And so when I tried to watch it was more like in the past 5 years. And I was like, everyone says this is so funny, and it's just,
I think for the time.
Yeah, I was like, for that time it might have been really funny, but like compared to things now, I was like, this is not hitting like it was said it would hit.
Yeah, I think people now also love, because it's like always on, like a rerun type of thing. You can play in the background, the nostalgia of like the 90s and the Jen haircut and all the things. The Office, I also had to like be forced to get into it because like, I need to understand because people just love it, and I just had to like push through. And I did find it funny. I don't think I would do all the rewatches, Because I'm someone who like I can't handle awkward situation stuff like that, and that was a lot of situational things where because it was awkward and Michael doing things, I'm like I can't do it.
Yeah, it's like this is just uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's really interesting. So yeah, guys, you're gonna get some very different perspectives on here since you have people who are kind of shying away from some of the larger things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something else you said right before that of the Office and Friends. Oh, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
So, what about your first like celebrity crush? Like maybe from childhood, and then one that now that you're like, I check.
You shouldn't have asked this
Some
question.
updates
I'm literally going to give you like a timeline of my life.
Please go ahead. I'm ready. I think the listeners are also ready.
Okay, so my first celebrity crush was Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. I don't really want to. I don't really
listeners, if you're listening to this on audio, you should have seen the face that I just made because there was a younger version available for you to.
He was like prepubescent at that point. I mean, he's closer in age to me, but he was
right.
I was like, this is a man.
Wait, what is he? Was he younger? Is Aaron Carter younger than you?
No, he's older than me. But he's close. So he's closer in age to me. But I still was like, Nick Carter, that is a man, honey, a man.
Okay.
I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So it was too young. Definitely had a thing for Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter for a minute. Let's let that go. Bygones be bygones.
Love it. I think a lot of people did them.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't talk about it. Currently, there's a lot of good-looking men in Hollywood. Okay.
Sure.
Idris.
Love it.
Justin Timberlake. I did like him when I was younger too. We haven't aged out of it. Is he the best? No. Is he problematic? Yes.
It's the voice. It happens.
I'm trying to think who else I love.
Yeah.
And I'm blanking right now.
What about any of the Avengers? They're all hot men.
I mean, Chris Evans. Who doesn't want
Christopher Jamal Evans?
Who doesn't want Chris Evans?
Yeah.
I would be shocked if someone wrote into us, listen to this, and then it's like, Chris Evans doesn't do it for me. I would honestly I'd be like, let's talk about that.
If that's you, I don't trust you. I'm gonna say it right now. I do not trust you.
I would say we need to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Have an intervention.
Yeah, because the man is
boy.
Okay, I just finished The Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yes.
And then I was like, I need to go back and watch these, and I had forgotten. I was like, this man is so attractive. This man is scrumplicious.
Mm-hmm. And he's someone who's truly gotten better with age. Because did you watch the Fantastic Four?
Yes!
And he's not scrawny by any means.
No, and he was a teen movie star at that point.
Yeah,
he started in all this, and then he did the Fantastic Four, and I was like, okay, he was cute.
Right.
He was cute.
Right.
Except in the moment, but it wasn't a man, okay? Right. And then when he came out as Captain America, after he was scrawny in the beginning, and then they gave him the shot, and then
the chest shot.
God must have spent a little more time on you, Chris Evans.
Woo! Yeah. Poor Chris. I say poor Chris. What's his face? Pratt. But I don't really feel that bad because you're fine. Millions of people still think you're attractive, but
he's not. But if you think that's fine.
Of the Chris's, nope.
That's third, right? If there's 3 Chris's.
There's 4.
Who am I forgetting?
Chris Pine, Chris Evans, Hemsworth.
I was thinking Avengers.
Pratt.
You're right, Chris Pine.
Right.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, he married a Kennedy. He's doing well.
Right.
So I'm happy for him.
Right. I think for me, younger, definitely it was Nick Jonas. There was and you know what's also funny? Do you ever think about went to concert as a child, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna shave my legs.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna put on
lipstick. Triggered a moment. I was in love with Joe Jonas for a moment after the peak when he did his solo album or whatever.
Ooh.
I went to that concert. I was like, we're gonna make eye contact.
Yeah, and, he's gonna fall in love. Obviously, how can he resist me in my layered tank tops and Justice?
I don't know why I thought he was going to see me out in the crowd of sweaty people, but I was convinced.
Yeah, you're like, all we have to do is lock eyes, and then he'll know. It'll be over. That was my thing for sure.
Okay, so Nick Jonas. Who else?
Definitely a little Justin Bieber. I wanted to be the one less lonely girl from his concerts so bad. It's fine. Went to see the like documentary in theaters. Loved it. I think those are probably like the biggest ones that I had.
Okay.
And then today,
current,
I would say my number.
You don't think me number one. You think me a top 5?
I don't know. Yeah,
a couple.
I'm sure I would like can think of them later on.
I know it's hard when they're on the spot.
But
right? Okay.
I will say Tom Hardy is a gorgeous man.
Okay.
You're saying okay.
That's all you. That's all you, baby. I'm just. Is he fine? Yes. Is he for me? No.
Boy, are you kidding me? Tom Hardy. Did you ever watch? I forgot what the movie is called. Like this.
Make sure I'm thinking the right person.
Please do. I'm like, girl, you need to read.
You're like rethinking the podcast. You're like, maybe we should
check yourself.
No, not for me.
I'm not really hurt right now.
I'm so sorry to do this for you, but he is not for me.
Okay, is it his teeth? So don't look at the teeth. Like mouth closed, luscious lips, built body, great actor, British.
It's just not giving me what you told me it was gonna give. I'm sorry to let you that on the spot, but like it's not giving me what you told me it was gonna give.
I mean, it's fine. You thought Nick Carter was hot,
so I did with the like long hair part, which came back. It did come back.
So he's just a trendsetter.
Something.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is probably a little preview of what you guys should probably expect every week.
Okay, before we go, fun question.
Please do.
Who has been a reality TV crush for you?
Multiple.
We can do multiple.
I don't know if I'm there. I think there's some type of disbelief because I know that. I'm trying to think, because maybe, why don't you go first and maybe it'll jog some stuff for me. Say it.
No.
You have none?
I don't know that I do. I'm like, I think kind of like you, where I'm like, there are people on reality TV shows are attractive or conventionally attractive, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of have to be. But, like, there's something off about them
because they're doing a reality TV show?
Like, maybe they've got too much confidence for me where I'm like, it would not work.
Yeah.
Ashamed to say this, Bachelor viewers, but, like, for a moment there, I was like, Pilot Pete?
Oof.
Tyler Cameron. Okay, that's who I would say.
I was about to say.
When I was watching Hannah B's season of The Bachelorette, I was like, I would die for this man. I would die for him. If he somehow like tweeted back at me on Twitter and was like, hey, I would be in Florida, New York, wherever we wanted, I'd be like, okay, I'm there.
You'd be there living on the beanbag underneath his bunk bed.
I sure would. If you told me like you have to sleep on the floor, I'm sleeping on the bunk bed, I'd say, oh, baby, that's fine. You do that.
I'm here.
Me and my old bag will be on the floor.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I watched that season after all this stuff went down, and also like after seeing them on social for a bit. So I already felt like
you felt some type of way about it.
I felt some type of way. Peter, I didn't see him on Hannah's season, so I didn't feel the appeal. I was just like, what is this?
Okay,
man-child doing?
Here's what's embarrassing. I did not see the appeal during Hannah's season. It was like when his season was airing, I was seeing him every Monday. And I was like, maybe he's better looking than I thought. But by the end of the season, I was like, no.
Fascinating.
There's a moment though. I'm gonna say, Pete.
Let's play a little game. Just between you and me. No.
I'm sorry. So there's no one on reality TV that you thought
I'm sure
he's fine.
I'm sure like if someone will bring it up, I'm like, oh yeah, them.
There's no one on Love Island that you've been like, that's my man.
I don't think so. I think like, oh, I thought they were
cute together.
Yeah, or like cute together, like whatever on the show, but never like
that's for me.
Yeah.
It's just Tom Hardy.
It's
just Tom Hardy.
It's not just Tom Hardy either. I can't even think of more. But yes, listeners, I would love to know who your own celebrity crushes are, reality TV crushes. Maybe that will help jog my own memory.
Yeah.
You can visit us on Instagram at Content Culture Pod and comment and share because I would love to know.
We do need to know. I feel like you guys are going to jog our memories, and all of a sudden I'm going to be like, I forgot this list of 50 people I find attractive. So we'll see.
And then maybe we'll dedicate an episode later on to talk about it, perhaps rank.
Ooh.
And then we'll go from there.
You know, I do love a good lineup.
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper. Still that man. Man.
Okay, I was also like, what, 10 years old? So just a very young person thinking.
I was very young when I discovered that I had a crush on Anderson
And then I found out he was gay, and I was like, that ain't no problem.
I was like, that's fine.
I feel like we should talk about it as a society of why we feel as young, very prepubescent children to be like, oh, I'm in love with this person with visibly gray hair.
Yeah, because I am not attracted to other men that are like in that same age.
Right, like real people.
But even to this day, when I see Anderson Cooper on my TV, I get a little nostalgia of that moment when I was younger, when I was like,
I used to be in love.
This is a man.
And then I found out he was like super rich. I'm like,
a man!
Check and check. It's great. He
was out there in that tight white tee. Ooh.
Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh, well. Well.
This has been our first episode.
It has been.
We hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you for listening.
Be sure to follow on Instagram
at Content Culture Pod.
And be sure to subscribe on any of your podcast listening platforms.
Yeah, we would love that. We're excited to kick this off, and we'll be starting our first reality TV recaps with The Bachelorette, but definitely know that we will be talking about Love Island over the summer, Bachelor in Paradise, and probably some other things as time goes on. So I'm excited.
I am thrilled. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Yay!
And if you want to do us a huge favor, subscribe and drop us a review.
Love it. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.